The universe is vast, full of wonders and terrors beyond human comprehension. But for all its unknowable horrors, for all its cosmic dread, it had never encountered anything quite like Karen, president of the Whispering Pines Homeowners Association. Our story doesn't start with a terrified scream or a global panic. It starts with a violation. A mothership, blacker than a moonless night, had descended from the heavens. It was a sight that would make armies tremble and nations fall. But Karen saw something else. It was double-parked, in a fire lane. And worse, it was dripping some sort of iridescent, extraterrestrial goo all over Mrs. Henderson's prize-winning petunias. That was a clear violation of Bylaw 7, Section C, landscaping integrity. While the rest of the world was just beginning to register the alien threat, Karen was already on the move. She grabbed her weapon of choice, a laminated clipboard and a freshly sharpened No. 2 pencil. She marched right up to the ship's shimmering energy ramp, completely ignoring the heavily armed, 8-foot-tall insectoid sentries. An alien commander, a high-ranking Xylos warlord, descended to meet her. It broadcast a message of doom and conquest directly into her mind, a psychic assault meant to shatter the will of any lesser being. It spoke of galactic empires, of worlds turned to ash, of the impending harvest of Earth's resources. Karen just tapped her pen against the clipboard. "Excuse me," she said, her voice cutting through the psychic chatter. "I'm going to have to stop you right there. First of all, your vessel is currently in violation of Municipal Code 34B, regarding unauthorized parking in an emergency vehicle access lane. That's a $200 fine, escalating to $400 if not paid within 72 hours. The warlord paused, its multifaceted eyes blinking in confusion. Its psychic projections faltered. Karen wasn't finished. Furthermore, she continued, flipping a page on her clipboard, your landing procedure produced decibel levels well in excess of the 8 p.m. noise ordinance. And this unapproved exterior lighting, it's far too industrial for a residential zone. We have specific guidelines for ambient, warm-toned illumination. You'll find them in the Architectural Review Committee Handbook. Page 47. The alien tried to interject, projecting images of planetary destruction and fiery obliteration. Karen just held up a hand. Frankly, your threats are irrelevant. If these violations aren't rectified, we'll be forced to issue a formal citation. And if you think that's bad, just wait until we start talking about property liens. I'll have this monstrosity impounded so fast your head will spin. My nephew, bless his heart, just passed the bar. Specializes in property law. He'd have a field day with this. The Xylos warlord, a being who had conquered star systems and enslaved species, had no frame of reference for municipal court litigation. Faced with the baffling threat of escalating fines and impenetrable legal jargon, it did the only thing it could. It ordered a retreat. The colossal ship ascended, leaving behind a bewildered Karen and a slightly slimy patch of petunias. For Karen, this was just the beginning. She immediately called an emergency HOA board meeting. The agenda reclassifying the alien invasion as a severe curb appeal deficit. The board, a formidable council of retirees and neighborhood watch captains, unanimously passed her motion. They also drafted and ratified a brand new first contact protocol, which outlined approved paint swatchers for visiting spacecraft, designated visitor parking zones, and mandatory quarterly lawn maintenance for all non-terrestrial residents. A week later, the aliens returned. This time, they weren't messing around. This was the final harvest. Lasers sliced through the sky, but they carefully avoided any property lines. When the abduction beams descended, Karen didn't run. She walked right into one, clipboard in hand, a serene, determined look on her face. She found herself in a vast, metallic chamber before the Arbiter, the supreme leader of the Xylos Swarm. The creature was a terrifying synthesis of organic and machine. Its psychic presence a crushing weight. "Human," the Arbiter boomed, its voice echoing across the cosmos. "Your resistance is futile. Your world is ours." Karen simply smiled. "Actually," she said, holding up a thick stack of papers, "I'm here to serve you this." The Arbiter psychically scanned the document. It wasn't a treaty. It wasn't a plea for mercy. It was a notice of foreclosure. Due to multiple, unaddressed violations and a failure to pay accrued fines, Karen explained calmly, the Whispering Pines Homeowners Association has placed a lien on your vessel. As of this morning, we have initiated foreclosure proceedings. All your intergalactic energy credits have been frozen pending litigation. You are, to put it simply, evicted. Silence. The Arbiter, a being that commanded a fleet capable of extinguishing suns, was speechless. Frozen assets. Foreclosure. These concepts were more alien to it than humanity itself. The sheer, unyielding power of suburban bureaucracy had brought the entire Xylos Swarm to a grinding halt. The surrender was unconditional. The story ends not with a bang, but with a fresh coat of paint. In the sunny cul-de-sac of Whispering Pines, The once fearsome Xylos warriors could be seen, brushes in hand, carefully applying a neutral port-approved shade of muted sage to their entire mothership. One warlord was meticulously gluing a broken garden gnome back together under Karen's unwavering supervision. The neighborhood barbecue went on as scheduled, held in the pleasant shade of the now compliant, beautifully landscaped, and legally parked alien spacecraft, and as Karen flipped burgers, she knew her neighborhood was safe. Not through force of arms, but through the unshakable power of a well-run homeowners association. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this tale of bureaucratic triumph, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories. See you next time.